Winter transforms the world into a serene wonderland where nature's beauty reveals itself in quiet whispers and frosty hues. This is a season of reflection, resilience, and hidden magic. Come, let's explore the beauty of winter in nature together. Hi everyone, it's Lori and welcome to my home and my garden. So today I'm working inside because while it's sunny, it is very chilly outdoors. I am a Zone 3 gardener and my home is a 1900s, 1906 to be exact, Victorian home. It's been restored and we absolutely love it. So last week you saw in a video, I created this floral display for my table that included these gorgeous amaryllis. I can't wait to show them to you in bloom. Well, I wasn't happy with the table runner and I just don't really have a good tablecloth in my collection for the holidays. So I had thought about an alternative, which is using a blanket or throw. So I went to my local home store and got very lucky. They had this beautiful red throw. It just fit the perfect size. What I love about it is it doesn't hang over on the ends, which helps for people sitting on the ends of the table. It's not too thick, but it's just got enough cushion that the plates and glasses will all sit really nicely. The color though is so striking. The other beauty of it is after this year, if I don't want to use it again, I can always use it as a throw blanket on a chair, on a sofa, on the end of a bed, anywhere. So I've started laying it out. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just start putting everything back on the table. Now I'm not ready. It's still too early to set my holiday table, but I did pull out my dishes so that I can get those clean and ready. So now you can see how it looks with that beautiful arrangement on it. So I'm just setting out my dishes. I will be making sure those are all clean and set the table before Christmas. But just getting everything kind of set on it so that I can take a look and see how I feel. After that, it was time to do some cleanup. You know, every time you pull things out, especially with hardwood floors, there's always dust and debris. If you look right there in the corner, you can see my pup Charlie staring at me. So now I wanted to add some beautiful wreaths to this historic buffet. So this buffet cabinet was originally in the kitchen in the home and it was used as their kitchen cabinets. When the house was restored, they moved it to the dining room and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite components of our home. So to add the ribbons, I cut some strips and I've just taped them inside. And now what I'm going to do is actually come in and also tape them down at the center where I want to hang the wreath. So I'm going to just kind of mark where that's going to be. And from there, we're going to come back and get these wreaths all hung up together. And then I'm going to show you how I make my bows. Okay, so here's the finished product, and I just love them. They really pop on the blue of our cabinet. Now, the ribbons are very dark red. They don't look it in the video, but they are super, super red and match the throw blanket that I put on the table. So can't wait to see these amaryllis in bloom. I think it's just going to be a really striking combination with all the reds and the touches of nature. Hi everyone, it's Lori. So I wanted to pop in and show you how I make my bows. Now, I've watched tons of videos, floral designers, and there are so many ways to make bows, but you have to figure out what works for you. And my method may be a little bit different. I have small hands, and if you make a large bow and you're holding it, you can lose one of the ribbons and it just makes a big mess. So I have figured out a different way that I like to make them, and I thought I'd show you really quick. Let's get started. Okay, so to get started, I've got a long stretch of ribbon and I have got a piece of wire cut. You'd already used this one once. It's just a strip. You can cut to the length that you want. This is the way that I like to do it. So the first thing you want to do is think about the tail size, your first tail. And I want this to be pretty long. Okay, so I'm going to hold it right there and I'm going to go ahead and make my loop. So I'm just going to loop it together where I want that center piece. Now I'm going to take my tail and I'm just going to pinch it where I'm turning it so that the pretty side of the ribbon is facing me. So you can see this is the pretty side and this is just the back. I want the pretty side to face me as I'm making the bow. All right, then I'm going to take my loop and I'm just going to pinch all of it together and just make that pretty center part so it's all pinched. And then I'm just going to tie my wire around it. And that's just to get started. Now I twist it and keep the wire in the back. So I've got my loop, I've got the wire sticking out. Hopefully you can see it. And then I've got my first tail facing me, which is the important part. All right, so at this point, you should have your loop, your wire sticking out, and you've got your tail and your ribbon that's still attached. So then with the side that's attached to the spool of ribbon, I'm going to make my first loop. Now at this point, here's a trick. I like to go ahead and pinch it, bring it up to the wire, get it to the size that I want. And then once you pinch it, you twist it, you always want to put the front side of the ribbon facing you. Then you can go ahead and rope that wire around it if you want. So you can twist that wire around and that's just going to secure that first loop. It just helps you keep your hands a little bit freer as you go. So I've got that first loop all ready to go. You leave your tail where it is. And now, let me see if I can show you better this way. Now you've got your ribbon and you can come around and keep your wire out of the way, make your second loop. Now, if your puppy comes and takes your ribbon, I'm not sure what to tell you to do with that, but yes, Wilson just came and got my ribbon. Okay, so now we're gonna make our second tail. Again, you just loop it, match the size, pinch it together, and you can either hold it or you could go ahead and wrap it again. So if your wire's long, you can wrap it as you go. So now we've got two, we've still got our tail, and now I'm just going to twist it again. You always want to twist so that the pretty side is in front of you, and then you just repeat. So you're just going to bring it up and then pinch it, twist it, and you can hold it. At this point, if I'm just making two pretty bows, then I'll just hold it. But some ribbon gets really thick and it makes it really, really hard. Okay, so now that I've got, I'll show you from the front, it looks a lot better. Now that I've got those, if you only want to do 4, if you want to do more, you can just continue your process. Turn, fold, go up, or you can do it from the top. So either way works. But once you're finished, you then want to take a new wire, funnel it through, tie it all together, and cut your other leg of your bow. So that's just a little quick demonstration of how I made the bows on my wreath behind me. Really simple. I just kept it simple with 2 little bow edges, bow bow parts on each side, and again, use the wire. So I hope that's helpful. It's really hard to demonstrate something like this on camera, and it's even more challenging when the puppy takes your ribbon. But thanks so much, everybody.